Good afternoon or good morning. Hopefully, you're working on this at a decent hour of the day. Wanted to show a couple things to you about how your cells actually get energy from food. You can't just eat food and get energy. You actually need to eat food and turn it into usable energy that you can use for your body to survive. So, first things first, let's talk about the article here. It's called Cell Introduction to Cell Respiration. Respiration, that's a very, very hard word, but it'll come back over and over again. It's basically how your cells get energy from food. Cellular respiration is the process by which organisms use oxygen to break down fuel molecules, the tiny parts of food, to get energy for your cells to function. Cellular respiration takes place in the cells of animals, plants, and fungi, and also in algae and protists, which are tiny, tiny things. Basically, all living things, except for viruses, go through cell respiration to get energy, including you. So, go back and highlight process by which organisms break down food molecules to get energy. Break down food to get that energy. And it occurs in all living things. Highlight that. Go through cell respiration. All living things go through cell respiration. What did we just read about? We read about how cells break down food through cell respiration to get energy. And this happens in all living things. All living things do this. All right. I have a picture here of some protists, some fungus, and some bacteria, just to show you that these things break down food to get energy the same way you break down food to get energy. But viruses do not go through this process. Okay. They do not go through cell respiration. So think about how do they get their energy then? All right. Question one. What is the main idea of the first paragraph? Let's go back to the first paragraph and see what we highlighted. Okay. So the main idea of the first paragraph should be a complete sentence to virus. Organisms break down food into tiny parts for energy. What types of living things, question two, what types of living things go through cellular respiration? Well, we know that protists, fungi, bacteria go through it, animals and plants go through it. So basically all living things go through it. Viruses do not because they are not alive. Question three, do viruses go through cellular respiration? I just told you that answer. Think about it. Question four, based on the paragraph above, why is cell respiration important for your body? So why is it important for your body to break down food into usable energy, right? I can't just eat, a piece of chicken and then voila, helps my cells grow. So why is it important for your body to go through this process? Next section. All cells need energy to function. Just as a car must burn fuel to get energy it needs to run, the cell must burn fuel, for example, food, to get energy to carry out the task of life. Cells need energy to function, just as a car must burn fuel to get energy it needs to run. I'm going to highlight that. It's called a metaphor. Glucose, a simple sugar, so glucose is a fancy word for sugar, provides the fuel the cell needs. Although energy is stored in larger molecules, such as like a carbohydrates and in fats, they must be broken down into molecules of sugar before the cell can use your energy. So if you eat some fatty foods or eat proteins, your body will turn those into sugar first before your cells can use it. So what did we just read about? All cells need energy. And we also read that your body must break it down to sugar before cells can use the energy. Question 5. What is the author comparing a cell to in the paragraph above? So the author is saying a cell is like this. Why? What are they talking about? In the last sentence, this has to happen to sugar in your body before your cells can use it. Or this has to happen to, molecules in your body before your cells can use it. Must turn into what? I just gave the answer again. Sorry. Here we go. Almost done. In the diagram below, you will see how cells break down glucose, sugar, and turn it into energy for your cells to use. Without this process, the different cells in your body will not have the energy to function properly. So let's see here. Go to the diagram here. It's pretty short. This is called a mitochondria during the process of cell respiration. So inside of your cells, each of your tiny cells, billions of cells, has this part called the mitochondria, which turns sugar into energy, ATP. So these orange things kind of represents the amount of energy that comes from each of the steps of what's called cellular respiration. All right, so I'm going to walk you through this. It's kind of hard to figure out, but I'll walk you through it step by step. Question 1. Which process is being shown in the above diagram? Well, process of cellular respiration. What structure, part in the plant or animal cell is being shown above? So what's the name of this part right here, this orange bean looking thing? It's called a mitochondria, right? Mitochondria. I think of it as like mighty strong, because the mitochondria is what gives your cells energy to function. Question 3. What are the names of the 3 stages of cellular respiration? So there's 3 stages in cellular respiration. Stage 1 is called glycolysis. Stage 2 is called the Krebs cycle. Stage 3 is called the electron transport. Don't worry about why they're called that, but just know that's what they're actually called. So we just did questions 1, 2, and 3. Question number 4. Which stage takes place in the cytoplasm, the yellow part of the cell? So let's go back to above. There's 2 stages that take place outside, or 1 stage takes place outside of this bean thing. The stage that takes place outside of the mitochondria is called glycolysis. This takes place before. It's where that sugar gets broken down for your body to use. Question 5. Which stages take place in the mitochondria, the orange bean-shaped part of the cell? So we know the 3 stages, and we know these 2 stages take part inside the orange thing called the Krebs cycle and the electron transport. And your last question, question 6. How many total ATPs, ATP is a fancy word for energy, are made during cellular respiration? So how many total units of energy are made during cellular respiration? Every time you breathe in, right, you breathe in oxygen down here below, it turns sugar into energy for our to use. So the first stage we make 2 ATPs, 2. The next one we make 2 more. So now we have 2 plus 2, that gives us 4. In the last stage we make 32. So we have 2 plus 2 plus 32. So how many total ATPs are made during cellular respiration? All right, there you go. This is important to help you survive and have all your cells do the things you need to do to keep living your life.